this is picking up where we stopped in the last video. So this is again on page 61, rotating in the coordinate plane. We just did 90 degrees counterclockwise and made this figure. Now we're going to do 90 degrees clockwise. So I'm going to use the same piece of patty paper that I had, and I'm going to put it back on my original. And then we're going to go clockwise. So 90 degrees clockwise is going to go this direction. So you're going to think about it as, nope, and I'm not going to use red this time. I'm going to use green so that we can differentiate. Okay, so now we're going to go this direction. So instead of making the x-axis line up on the y-axis this way, we're going to turn our paper the other direction. So put your point in the middle and turn it one time. Okay, so now the new A, the new B, the new C, and the new D. Oops, they didn't really transfer, so let's mark the points on the back of our patty paper again. And there's the new A, B, C, D. So A, this would be double prime. This is B double prime, this is C double prime, and this is D double prime. So, again, my computer's just being loud. It's recording videos, and so it just gets loud and overheats. But here we go. So now let's look at A double prime. So A double prime, you're going to go along the x-axis, 0. Notice it's just dropped straight down. And then it's -3. B double prime is 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, so it's positive, and then down 2, so -2. C double prime is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 1. D double prime is 2, 0. Okay, let's look at what's happening here. So we're not going to look at this middle one. We're going to kind of ignore that. We're going to look at the first and the last. So 3, 0 became 0, -3. Let's look at the order of the numbers first, and then we'll decide about the signs. So 3, 0 is 0, -3. So they look like they switched. Let's check the next one. 2, 4, 4, 2. The numbers switched. -1, 6, 6, 1. 0, 2, 2, 0. So let's go ahead and write in our rule, and I'm going to use green if I can find a green that shows up well enough. So the first thing we notice, we said, or I said, I guess you might have said it, you might have thought it, but the 3, 0 and 0, -3. So again, from the original, the y and the x switched. Leave yourself some room in case we need to write a negative. So they both switched. Now let's check the signs. The 3 was positive, now it's negative. The 2 was positive, now it's negative. The 1 was negative, now it's positive. 0 doesn't have a sign, so we can't really count that one. Okay, so the original x is now negative. Let's look at the y and see if it changed. 0, 0, again, that's a 0, so it's not negative or positive. 4, 4, that didn't change. 6, 6, that didn't change. 2, 2, that didn't change. So the only thing that's changing is the numbers are going to switch, and the original sign of x changes. So let's look at that. So this is going to be a prime again. -1, 6. So we change the order, so the numbers switch, so it's going to be 6, and then change the sign of x. So 6, and then what's the opposite or changing? If it's negative, it's going to become positive. This green is really not working very well. Here's another green. This one's darker. Maybe it'll work better. So 6, 1, because it changed the order. The 6 is now first, and then we are going to change the x value. So instead of it being negative, now it's positive. Okay, let's do B. Change the order. So 4, 2, and then we got to change the sign of x. So 2 was positive, so now it's going to be negative. So what did we do? Numbers switched, and original x changes sign. Sorry, I almost ran out of room. Okay, so numbers switched, y then x, and then the original x changes sign. Let's look and make sure. So 2, 4, the order switches, and then the original x becomes negative. Okay, let's apply that to this problem right here. Sorry, I don't have my plastic already on there. All right, so let's do this problem. So if we're going to rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise, that's the first one in here. So negative y comma x. So the order is going to change. So then it would be 4, 3. And the original y changes sign. The original y was 4, so now that one's negative. Let's do it to the next one. Change the order. 1, 6. Make the original y negative. Or change the sign. It doesn't always have to be negative. You change the sign. Okay. Then again on the last one, and make the original y change signs. Okay, so that's that one. Let's just check. Let's use another corner of a piece of patty paper. I made that crooked. A, B, C. So we're going to go 90 degrees counterclockwise. So it would be negative 4, 3. You can kind of see through the paper. I did not notice that you couldn't see anything. But so negative 4, 3, you can see through the paper. C should be at negative 9, positive 4. Yes. All right, so that's that one. So now let's do the next one, 90 degrees clockwise. If you have to, put it on there and look at the rules. So this A this A is now up here, or I'm sorry, down here, so it's now at 4, negative 3. 4, negative 3. And I wrote that in the wrong spot. Okay, it should be right here, 4, negative 3. Remember what our rule is for clockwise. Clockwise, the order changes, and then the original x changes signs. So the order changes, 4, 3, and the original sign, or the original sign of x changes. Let's apply that again. 1, 6, original sign of x changes. 4, 9 becomes 9, 4, original x changes sign. All right. The last one, the one that we did the very first one, which is rotate 180 degrees. Look at the note at the top. It just says both signs change. So we're not changing the order, you just change both signs. So it would be negative 3, negative 4, negative 6, negative 1, and negative 4, negative 9. So again, the only thing that's changing on that one is all of the signs change. If any of these originals were negative, they would change to positive. And let's just check. So this is the original. This one is the 90 degrees clockwise. This would be 180 degrees. So then you can notice the A value is now at negative 3, negative 4. You can check in your table, and that is correct. So that's how you rotate in the coordinates and these are the rules. Make sure you keep up with this. This is very important. And really it's that top one and this note up at the top that's the most important for you.